On this 56th day of the Trump administration, the president, or rather his administration, we don't want to run back into that habit of saying the president did something, then it was really the people around him who did it. And I'm referencing the wiretapping claim. He put his group, or his team, his cohorts of evil, as the liberals would dub them, put out a spending budget, preliminary version for next year today. And Secretary of State Tillerson went to Japan to discuss the missile threat by North Korea, which I don't know why he has to go over there to discuss that, but I guess he's trying to, keep the alliance going that we've had with them for the last few decades. So it makes sense in a way. I just think that I really hope we can get maybe some statement about him also being involved with discussions about this with Trump, in terms of protecting America from these missiles if they're really such a grave risk. I doubt that will happen. Now, what amazes me about that trip is the fact that we are now, I think he got confirmed on February 1st. So we're about 35 days into him being Secretary of State. And this is a running gag that we've had in these first 50 days, 56 days. The world still hasn't ended. Things still haven't become a catastrophe yet. And from the way people made it sound, we only had a few days before he'd either get impeached, the world would end, life would cease to exist, World War III would break out, despite the fact that Clinton, his main challenger, was a supporter of the Iraq War, and had very bad relations or awful relations with Putin. So I'm a little pressed as to how things were supposed to be that awful and terrible. Now I've shown my disagreement with some of his policies, such as the travel ban, and you know I'm still not in doomsday mode as some of my more left-leaning friends are. And again, I consider myself a liberal, so to wake up every day to news of what the administration's been doing and kind of have a not very reactionary type feeling about it, it feels unnerving because I'm expecting for something awful to happen and nothing awful has happened in my view. They're saying that some woman got deported, and that's not something I would agree with, and I think it's bad when families get taken apart. But I feel absolutely no guiltiness about this being my president or about him doing what he's doing because I didn't vote for him. I voted for Sanders. Everybody else voted for Clinton and Trump. Clinton lost to Trump. Trump got in there, and whatever occurs really just it doesn't feel like it's my fault in any way. They always say, "Oh, if a democracy collapses, look at the people who put that person in charge." Well, I had nothing to do with it, and what's so irritating is that I have these Caucasians on the left who are trying to tell me how racist this president is, and I don't know. It's just to hear them talk about the things that he says, the things that he does, the announcement speech from June of 2015, and then to think about now and just say to yourself, they have been saying the same things about him for almost 2 years. And, you look forward now and you say, wow, one of them is president and all the other ones are still in the exact same positions and not really progressing in any way at all. The obvious exception would probably be Cenk Uygur with his, new uh, program that assigns, progressive leaning people to help out the candidate. But aside from that, nobody else has really moved forward. And that's kind of my issue with the way people talk about this stuff that are liberals. And really, that's, I know this will only get 2 or 3 views, but ask yourself this. If you are so bothered by by a person or a candidate that's running for office why don't you try to get someone to, or you run yourself, that will oppose them and get them out of there? Why is that so undoable? I don't get it. And I didn't mean to get that off topic, but I just reflected today as I noticed that.